Good day, all you wonderful music and wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of Beats Beatdowns, right here on multiple platforms like Ole, also on Ring Respect Radio, as well as Turnbuckle Talk, one of the longest lasting and awesome shows that you can go check out. So go and make sure you like and subscribe to all those different networks. I am Bobby Munson, and I want to give, first of all, a shout out to the boys in On Lap for that amazing My Generation song that brings us in every single time. But for another shout out right here, I want to give a shout out to the man on screen with me right there, Carl Carafel, for all those amazing graphics, video packages, and also that intro, not just the intro to this show, but also the season intro where you had all the upcoming different people we're going to be talking about this season. Carl, just absolutely amazing, phenomenal work you've done here for the show.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that so much. I do have to say that it's nice and easy when you have a program that you've spent $150 for a year that allows you to do these types of things. I will put it out there. The program is called Canva. Check them out. We don't get paid by Canva for this, but I just really enjoy the program, and it has been super simple and easy to use to be able to create these different graphics that, I think are done decently and look as good as any other ones that people would be spending $5,000 for.
Yeah, I absolutely love them, and I kudos to you for the fantastic work. And you know what I love even more is the opportunity to talk about wrestling and music, because you know what, Carl? We're big music fans, you and I. We found that out through total coincidence when we originally found out. We both seemed to have the same idea for the same type of show, the same time, with never conversing on it. So it was written in the stars. It was meant to be. We were supposed to meet up. We were supposed to create this show. And we were supposed to make magic happen. And that's exactly what we're doing here on Beats and Beatdowns, season number 2. And we're going to continue it on. I guarantee you this is not going to be the last season, because we're going to keep making seasons as long as people keep listening to what we got to say. We got a lot to say because there's a lot of music out there. And right now we're taking you on a journey from A to Z in the world of music and professional wrestling and the influence that that music had on there. And for this one, you can't get more influential than who we've picked for the topic right here. We're on the letter L, and there was no doubt in either one of our minds that this one had to go to Miss Lilian Garcia, who has been a staple in the professional wrestling world as a ring announcer and just an on-screen personality for the WWE that stood out. And, you know, in many sense, I would say paved the way for the women of today that are doing ring announcing and a lot of the segments that they do within WWE and other professional wrestling companies. I think Lilian Garcia really was a trailblazer in that sense.
I'm going to go as far as to say if there was no Lilian Garcia, we would not have the amazing Canadian voice of Renee Young on our television screens today. So straight to your point, huge props to Lilian Garcia for what she's done to pave this way for others to come in and do what they're doing now.
And it was because that remarkable voice that she had that the WWE wanted her in the first place. They had to find somebody to fill the incredible shoes of Howard Finkel. And, you know, the Fink was still there when Lilian started making her debut, but she filled that void. It was almost seamless between Fink taking a role backstage and eventually retiring, and Lilian stepping in his place. She did a marvelous job and is always going to be remembered for it. We'll talk a bit more about that, because wrestling wasn't where she started. Music's where she started. And she started back in her home country of Madrid, Spain. Born in Madrid, Spain. And she began as a child actually working a lot with her sister doing music together.
Definitely did. And it's she not only in Spanish, as it would have been over in Spain for her, but also in English. So she learned to speak and sing in English and Spanish from the very beginning. And a lot of that really had to do with her father, because her father's employment with the American Embassy really had them traveling around a lot. So to go from place to place and as working for an American embassy, you had to know English as well as Spanish. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and then it was once she had made her way to America as a teenager, I believe, that was when she had formed a band where she was the lead singer of, and that was kind of where she started to get noticed for that wonderful, beautiful voice that she had brought with her and just the diversity that she could bring to a vocal styling.
Very much so, and it was at 8 years old when they moved. So she spent the first 8 years of her life overseas before moving to Columbia, South Carolina, over in the United States. So yeah, very young coming over here, but very still into everything that she was liked and everything that she made her happy from over there, was able to bring that over here. Amazing to be able to still have that inside of you, that even through everything that you've had to go through with all these different moves, and with your father working such a high profile job, because working at an embassy is nothing that's nothing to sneeze at by no means. So there's a lot of pressure there, and she just really seemed, even at that young age, to really be able to handle the pressure.
Yeah, she really did, and I think that's where she became able to have that kind of confidence, that level to be able to perform in front of people, to be able to stand inside those stadiums the WWE would do, and only be the ring announcer, but inevitably get the opportunity to not once but multiple times be the person to sing America the Beautiful on those WrestleManias. And again, when it came down to pandemic era wrestling, as much as I'm not a fan of pandemic era wrestling, there was the WrestleMania where it was behind closed doors and they couldn't have a live performance for America Beautiful. So they put a compilation together of all the people who had sang it. And the multiple times that they kept going back to was Lilian Garcia, because she is the one performer that on multiple occasions has been asked to do this for the WWE. Because not only was she one of those figures that people recognized, the fans loved, but she just has that remarkable voice that she should be singing those types of things at the top of a show, because it gets people into it. It's not just about it being about their country and about them being proud of their country. It's a song that, when sung right, can be a very beautiful piece of work. And Lillian Garcia always made it sound like a very beautiful country theme song.
Definitely she did. But that didn't only happen for the American national anthem as well. That happened for an anthem or a theme over in England called God Save the Queen, which she actually performed several times in England, including NXT, when NXT was over there, and at the 15th annual Download Music Festival. So, like, to be able to be at the Download Festival, which is a huge festival over in England, and to be able to sing God Save the Queen over there, not even being somebody who is from that area, but to be invited to do that really is a testament to not only who she is, but to her voice as well, and how beautiful it is that they would want her to come over and sing what is like a secondary national anthem for them, I guess you could say. Just insane.
Yeah, and it just goes to show the level of love and diversity that she has to be able to go there. Born in Spain, goes over to America, and then comes over to the UK as a guest, and beautifully sings these national anthems that normally would be given the opportunity to be done from somebody from those countries, but because he's so well respected and so beloved worldwide and internationally, that everybody was very accepting, and nobody complained, not once, about this, and nor should they, damn it, because Lilian Garcia has a beautiful voice, and I'll say it 100 times over. A lot of people don't respect a voice as being a musical instrument, but it damn well is a musical instrument. When somebody really can hammer out a beautiful, beautiful voice that, really stands out, and I mean stands out. It's one of those ones where you hear it and you know instantly who is behind it. That, to me, is a musical instrument in its own.
I definitely agree. I would not argue that point at all.
Perfect. Now, talking a little bit about Lilian Garcia, we'll get to the wrestling stuff even more so here, but I also wanted to mention she did get outside of wrestling a little bit too, and I know she has recently in her later career, but she made an appearance in a movie back in 1990, a little movie called Modern Love, which featured Lillian Garcia as well too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely crazy that even back then, right? So like, so she has some background in film, right? So after high school, she actually went on to major in film producing and directing at the University of South Carolina. She actually graduated cum laude. Her first started performance was with her sister in variety shows, like you had mentioned there, at just like local competitions and then like different clubs around the town, which led to her singing appearance in Modern Love. Like, so just crazy to know and understand that she was able to take a passion that she had, maybe transition over to something a little bit different like film production, but still be able to come back and amalgamate the two of them together in Modern Love. I mean, that's a huge testament to her talent. It nuts.
Yeah, and so now we'll go a little bit onto the wrestling side, but also include the music at this point, because her real solo career came about after she had been in a ring announcer for the WWE. So her popularity, especially with, as they call it now, the WWE universe, had risen to big amounts. We had heard America the Beautiful, we had heard various things. Now it was time for her to drop her first single, her debut album. And the big thing for her is that first single, Shout, actually reached number 69 on the top 100 Billboard charts. A huge feature for what would have been considered an independent artist at the time.
Definitely she was still considered an independent artist at the time. And just, I mean, so it sucks sometimes when we talk about music because Billboard has a number of different 100 lists that they do, right? So this one here, 69 on the Billboard Hot 100 list, back in 2002, which is 20 years ago already. Like, it's insane to think that 20 years ago is when really this big break came, and this huge break for her music career came only because, and I say this with all honesty, only because during her time as a host, singer, announcer, performer on USA Network's Monday Night Raw, and an interviewer on SmackDown, she was actually seen in over 186 countries in 35 different languages, which allowed her to have that notoriety and be able to be seen by so many people, which really, I think, helped gravitate her to that number 69 list, because these people who have been seeing her in these 135 different countries, or 186 different countries, were definitely going to go and check that out. And I don't blame them, because I was one of them. I was one of them that helped get her to 80 or to 69 on that list. So yeah.
And that's the thing too. I mean, admittedly, like, would I go searching out the style of music on my own? Typically not. It's definitely not something I usually sit down to collectively listen to. But again, it's not that I dislike the style of music. It's just not typically what I listen to. But
right.
With that being said, homage to Parrish on that one. So yeah. Anyway, with that. Lillian Garcia, we searched it out because we are familiar. We had heard her voice. We know it's beautiful. We want to be able to support somebody that we've made that connection with, and that's what came about. And then she's also recorded many other tracks that were used within WWE albums, including a theme that she did for Tori Wilson. Believe Need a Little Time actually is the time. That was right in the first place. I shouldn't have guessed myself. Need a Little Time, the theme song that was used by Tori Wilson, was recorded by Lillian Garcia, which was, I guess, essentially the first time that anybody in a ring announcer position got to sing the theme song of one of the professional wrestlers in the company as well, too.
I do believe so. There's been a lot of different firsts for Lilian Garcia when it comes to her tenure within the WWE. And I mean, yeah, I believe you are correct in saying that she was the first to do that for a superstar, to transition, and not even transition, but to be able to have the notoriety to be the ring announcer, to be an actual like persona on your television screens, and be that person to do the theme song as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and she also, outside of that, she co-wrote a song, "You Don't Know Me at All," which was released in 2004 on the WWE original song. And then again, some of the work that she's done with other artists, I mean, not a lot of people realize she's worked with the likes of Shakira, Ricky Martin, and also Jennifer Lopez as well, too. So, I mean, a lot of very, very massive names that Lilian Garcia has had the opportunity to do professional music with.
She definitely has. And I mean, that's, again, I spoke to this earlier, but that's just a testament to who she is musically. I don't even want to consider anything that she's done with the WWE to be a factor in the workings with those people, because those people really didn't have any type of connection to the WWE or professional wrestling at that time. It was all solely based on her musical abilities and the wonderful sounds that come out of her mouth when she sings. That's the reason why 100% I believe that.
Well, I mean, association to WWE or not, none of those names are going to choose to work with somebody if they don't think that they're the right fit for their brand as well, too. Again, they don't want to lend their name to something they're not going to feel works for them. And so the fact that they want to work with Lilian Garcia is a testament not only to her ability as a singer, but her good nature as a person, that they would want to spend time in a studio recording this stuff with her as well, too. And just, she has left so many great tunes. She left the WWE in 2016, which again, I still think not enough people are asking for Lilian Garcia's induction into the WWE Hall of Fame, because she could go in on two levels as a performer within the company and on the celebrity wing in a sense too, now that she's got the musical side. So really, I feel there's two, because we're season 2 of Beats Beatdowns, there's 2 Hall of Fame nominations coming the way of Lilian Garcia down the road.
There definitely should be. And I really hope that those within the WWE that take a look at the Hall of Fame see things the way that we do with that as well, because she definitely is deserving of both.
Very much so. So, got to ask Carl, anything else that you want to add to the Lilian Garcia talk before we go to the final segment of Beats Beatdowns?
I think that kind of what I do want to emphasize with Lilian is that even through everything that she's done within the music world, she's still she's been very passionate about not only her music, but giving back as well to her community through charitable work. In 2013, she was actually honored to be named an official spokesman or spokesperson for the Susan G. Komen Foundation for breast cancer, an opportunity that she actually cherishes because her mother is a breast cancer survivor. She's performed, like we said, the national anthem at so many different events, not even just professional wrestling, but she's done it for the New York City race for the cure, the SGK Los Angeles race at Dodger Stadium, where she was also appointed an ambassador. Over the last couple of years, she's been busy as the host and producer of her own popular podcast called Chasing Glory. She's broken the top 10 of iTunes several times, and she's also, to my understanding, working on a new recording in the studio for some new material. So we will definitely be able to get some more Lilian Garcia singing to us and serenading us with her beautiful voice. I think it's just awesome that she is so humble to want to give back to all of these different charities and organizations and be a part of them as well.
Well, let's throw something down on the table then, Carl, because you mentioned she's working on something new. How about we revisit Lilian Garcia on a special episodes of Beatdowns there? It could be, doesn't have to be tied to a season. We could actually make it a very special one-off episode where we'll do a full-on review of the new recording from Miss Lilian Garcia.
I think we definitely can do that, and I think that maybe... Now, just hear me out here. I think that maybe we can kind of tie in Beats and Beatdowns talking about Lilian Garcia and maybe add a little bravado on top of that and do a collaboration.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that anyway. For anyone who doesn't know, I've recently started giving my thoughts on music and movies there. Call it the bravado, got to break up the stuff away from wrestling a little bit every once in a while, and it's been a lot of fun, been a lot of great success over there. So yeah, I think that would be great. A collaboration between the two shows should be on the cards. I think we could have a wonderful time, and I would love to do some musical reviews with you, and I think that we should tie some of them back to what we do right here on Beats and Beatdowns. I think that would be phenomenal.
I think so as well. Special edition Beats and Bravado.
Yeah, there we go. Beats and Bravado. I love it. Sounds good. But now, as we move into our final segment of the show, the segment we like to do is dig into our favorite song by the professional artist. And I went back and listened to a lot of these. I figured I would definitely go back to probably a track that was heavily used in WWE or something like that. But I found myself listening to the song "Your Girl" till the end of the world more than anything. It's a good ass tune. I really enjoyed it. And you know what? Go listen to it. I'm not steering your wrong. It's a good song. Go check it out. It's great.
It definitely is a good song, and it's one that I listened to a few times as well when taking a look and doing a little bit of research for this show here today. Not one that I chose myself. I actually chose a cover that she did of the song "Fix You." And I kept getting drawn back to that because, well, yes, it does have a little bit of ties, maybe kind of sort of to professional wrestling, because Diamond Dallas Page has his DDPY, a yoga type of workout system. And in one of the videos that he did, kind of talking about one of the success stories, that song was used during that little video, and I didn't know that Lilian had actually covered this song, so I was surprised to find that she did this, and I listened to it several times over. And yes, make sure you have a set of tissues around, because you might get a little emotional.
You very much could. And again, another beautiful tune. And, also shout out DDPY, because it's a great program as well, too. And anybody who gets the chance to give it a try, give it a try. It is definitely going to make you work, but it definitely will make you have success as well, too. The wife and I have done it many times before, and I'll tell you, my strength level definitely went up in doing DDPY, and the weight definitely came off. I can attest to that. I used to weigh 350 pounds once upon a time, and I've definitely lost about 90 to 100 pounds since that time. And a lot of that I can attribute, of course, there's differences in eating and stuff like that, but DDPY, one of those things. And if someone like Lilian Garcia can bring in a beautiful song to tie it all together, that's all I need to say. But yeah. Carl, with that said, there it goes again. It brings us to an end of this episode of Beats and Beatdowns. So, I want to know where, if I was one of the lovely people that's watching the show right now, where can I go and find Carl Karofeld this coming week?
This coming week, you can find me Tuesdays. I'm going to be doing Turnbuckle Talk every Tuesday, generally. Once in a while, if I'm off on a Monday night, I will be trying to do more Raw watch-alongs over on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Turnbuckle Studios. We always got Beats and Beatdowns. Mondays as well, pre-recorded. We have coming out Paramindful, where we talk about all things spooky-ooky-ish, as coined by one of the hosts, Mel. She's fantastic. And then, who knows, the easiest way for you to keep in touch with me and what I am doing is to visit my link tree Search Turnbuckle Studios on Linktree. And that's where you can follow everything having to do with yours truly, Carl Carafel.
And if you want to find myself, you just have to open the old Yellow Pages and look up Bobby Money Munson. No, I'm just kidding, you guys. You know where to find me. And you can also catch me all over Olay, as well as Ring Respect Radio. I got Thursday nights with Papa Spokes, doing the MLW coverage over on Fusion. You never know who might stop by, so always check in and get in on the live conversation. Pre-recorded episodes of Ring Respect Radio drop on Friday with myself and Papa Spokes. We got the Bravado, as Carl mentioned, where I talk about movies and music. And if you're not tired of me yet, I also got Sundays with my Brunch Buster brother, Chris Parrish, and other various things. We got so much projects here on Olay and so many wonderful people, so many great creators doing great things. It is really a community of people coming together. And as you said, Paramindful, one of those excellent shows, a lot of great shows that are going to be unrelated to pro wrestling as well too. So if you're tired of all the wrestling talk and you want to check out something different, man, Paramindful's fantastic. We're going to have all sorts of pop culture stuff coming at you here on Olay. This really is our local establishment as much as it is your local establishment, and we're glad that you're able to join us not only here on this show but on the many other shows that we put out there, and all the love and support that you guys show to each and every one of us. And the more love and support you show, the more we're going to be able to keep producing these things. So make sure to subscribe, follow, do all those wonderful things over at Carl's Twitch, my Twitch, the Olay Twitch. Everybody who does these contributions, it just takes a second to give us a sub, to give us a follow, anything like that. And doing so, you help us as creators out. And as that happens, we're able to commit more to this, to do more for it. Because again, we got to be able to pay some bills every once in a while, Carl. And that's what we're looking to do. And again, you can help us out just by showing us that love and support each and every week on the shows.
All of this showing that you're talking about right now, considering that this is the second episode, should we maybe play that little video clip that people have been seeing already, kind of giving a little bit of a teaser as to what's coming up on the rest of the season?
I'm down. Let's show them what we got coming up this season on Beats Beatdowns.
Trendsetters, the school of hard knocks and that attitude era. Yeah, I just wanted to be one of the best. Holding the mic as I'm yelling out D-Generation X. I will remember it. I'll never forget.
So much more coming your way this season on Beats and Beatdowns. Next week, we get to the letter M. We're talking about Mr. Michael Hayes. I think he's had a little bit of an influence on pro wrestling. I would say so myself. And he's also got that moniker of PS in there. I would PS pretty sexy, something along those lines. I don't know. It might also be a mirror into our finale, not only the era that Mr. Michael Hayes comes from. The PS might be a little bit of a hint to who our special guest might be. So stay tuned for that. We got lots coming up for you here on Beats and Beatdowns. Thank you for joining, as always, for myself and Carl Carafel. We love you. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next week.